This is What's Wild in New Hampshire by wildlife biologist Eric Orff. Hey, it's a little noisy here. Hey, we have the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department's habitat biologist here, Jim Ayler. Jim, what's going on today? Where are we? What's going on today? And let me get in there and hopefully we'll be able to hear you. Tell me what's going on, Jim.
Well, we're at the Cocheco River Wildlife Management Area in Dover.
Cocheco River.
We are maintaining some young forest habitat here. And we're doing it with the Brontosaurus mower. To maintain young forests, you need to have disturbances, and they can be created by Mother Nature, wind and ice storms, beavers even. Or in this case, we're using human-made equipment to make it.
The Brontosaurus. They were the real ones around when I was younger, but. So tell me about the operation. What do you expect the outcome's going to be here, Jim? And this happens across the state every year, right?
Yeah, we do 3 or 4 of these types of projects every year. That tied with our forest management that we do, we get a lot of habitat on the ground and creating those disturbances in a couple of years. Even next summer, this is going to root sprout vigorously. Root suckers from aspens, stump sprouts, and it's going to regenerate those thick, young cover that a lot of wildlife need.
Wow. Now, how many wildlife management areas does Fish and Game own, and how much management typically goes on in a given year? Yeah, and what are some of the other projects that you do?
We have over 100 wildlife management areas across the state, over 60,000 acres. 60,000
acres, wow.
And we partner with the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources to do commercial forest management, timber harvesting, with wildlife in mind. We got 8 projects in various planning or implementation stages at any one time. And we got several that are going to be occurring this winter.
You do some logging over winter, especially?
Pardon me?
The timber operations normally occur over the winter.
Normally they do.
Yeah,
normally they do. And we're going to be doing some group selection down at Sergeant Lot in Newton.
Okay.
Group selection over at Piscassic and Newfields. We got some patches going up at Marks WMA up in New Durham.
Okay.
Gosh, we got several.
All over the state.
All over the state.
And this is stuff that's been going on for decades. This is not something that's new, right, Jim?
Yeah, our first timber sale on Fish and Game properties occurred in 1989 in Boscawen at the Hearst Wildlife Management.
All right, wow.
And we've been picking up the pace here the last, 10, 15 years or so, creating those disturbances that create that wildlife habitat that a lot of critters need.
I think a lot of people don't realize that New Hampshire is like 83, 84, 5, whatever, pick the number, forested. So it's the openings, it's the sunlight that needs to penetrate into the forest floor for things to grow. Moose, deer, rabbits, they don't climb trees, so you got to have that lower habitat, right?
That's right, and the grouse, the snowshoe hares, and then all the different songbirds that require that type of disturbance and that type of young habitat as well. Yeah.
And so how many acres do you think will be treated right here?
Well, we're hoping to do 12 acres, although it's taking a little bit longer than we'd hoped.
It's pretty thick.
It's pretty thick, so we might have to finish it up next year. So if we get half of that done.
See how that, just take a look at that. There's trees that he just goes right down with that, is there a name of that head? What's it called?
Brontosaurus head.
Okay, that's the Brontosaurus head, all right.
Yep. That was invented by John Brown and Sons Ware. That's who's operating here.
Yeah, right here, John Brown, right there.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for a while for the department, right?
A long time, at least since the late 90s, something like that.
Yeah.
And we do use other contractors as well. There are other folks who have this type of machinery.
Okay, there are. All right.
But yeah, John Brown's been good for us.
Boy, so less than 10 minutes ago, I saw a small group of trees there, and now they're gone. That is a powerful machine.
It is. And as I say, it looks like we're sort of destroying habitat, but we're really not, because next summer things are going to resprout with a lot more vigor and maintain this good habitat.
Now, when I arrived, you mentioned there were actually a couple of roads that were in this area, so there was some development that was supposed to go on here, but Fish and Game somehow, well, it was who got the property and how?
Yeah. So Fish and Game picked up this property in the somewhere around 2005, 2006 through the efforts of the Great Bay Partnership.
Okay, very important, Great Bay Partnership.
So a lot of conservation organizations, the Nature Conservancy, Audubon, Fish and Game, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Forest Society, we all pooled our resources to sort of focus on the Great Bay watershed and try to conserve the most important pieces in this watershed. And this is one of them, right along the shores of the
Cocheco River. You got to have clean water.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
so yeah, this was an old pasture area. You can look back in the aerial photos from the 1950s and 1960s.
This was all open.
This was all open.
Isn't that amazing?
And it had regrown into trees, as New England wants to be. And they weren't great quality. It was a great place to sort of start over, create this young forest habitat. And so this is 12 years of growth.
Just 12, wow.
12 years of growth.
Wow, it doesn't take long, does it?
It doesn't take long.
Wow. Well, we got the Brontosaurus over there hard at work. That's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Well, so some great projects, a lot of hard work by Jim and crew and the John Brown company, hard at work over there. Awesome. So Fish and Game every year working to improve wildlife habitat for New Hampshire's fish and wildlife. And today we're down in Dover at the Cocheco River Wildlife Management Area. Hey, come down and take a look at it. There's some hiking trails here, John. What do we got?
There really isn't. This is really truly a wildlife area. We got the main access road, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean,
this is a great hunting spot for the suburban Dover area.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. So, if folks want to hunt in Dover.
Good spot.
Good spot, and it's going to be better.
It's going to be better.
There's going to be more wildlife here. Yep. Awesome. Very good, Jim. Thank you very much. This is wildlife biologist Eric Orr for What's Wild in New Hampshire. We're going to look at this Brontosaurus one more time. Look at that monster down there. This is wildlife biologist Eric Orr for What's Wild in New Hampshire.